Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to go over Man City for the 2024-2025 season. Clearly, it was a very bad season for them as they didn't really win any trophies. They didn't win the Prem, which they did for the last 3 seasons. They didn't make it far in the UCL as well. And it looked like the team was just, getting a little old and they needed some restructure to the team, especially with a small squad like Pep Guardiola likes to do. He likes to keep it small, less players, and the injuries very, very much, derailed the season. Anyways, let's get to it. Kushanov or whatever his name is, he gets a C for me. He was clearly brought into the season in the winter transfer window. He played pretty well, except his first game. He struggled his first game. But overall, for the 2024-2025 season, he gets a C for me. He didn't really do much, just another player for the future. It looks like they are investing towards the future anyways for this team. So a lot of these ratings might be a little low. Ake gets a B. Solid center back for them. He's been there for a while. He played pretty well. He could play, you know, Pep likes to experiment with his center backs, playing them into like almost a CDM role at times and a center back, and he looks like he could do the job. Bernardo Silva gets an A for me. Still one of their better players. Looks like he took a little bit of a down year this year, but overall, Bernardo Silva is one of the more creative players. This season, he had to play a lot deeper into the midfield just because bringing the ball up the field and progressing was just not happening with one player we're going to talk about later on. But he had to, do his best. He had to kind of fit the role of the team this season and help them progress the ball. And he couldn't be as creative up the field. Don't know who this is, but congrats on your player of the match trophy. This guy doesn't play, let's be honest. Third choice goalkeepers never play. De Bruyne. De Bruyne gets a B for me. Let's be honest, his legs are finished. Like he's old. You could tell this season there was like a huge decline in his performance. He could barely finish 90 minutes. He was almost similar to a Modric. So, in my opinion, he gets a B for the season. He clearly just couldn't help elevate the team when they needed it the most. So he gets a B for me. Echeverry hasn't even played for the team, I'm pretty sure. So he gets an F for now. Ederson gets an A. Solid goaltender still. Goalkeeper, I mean. And he's been very good. But, you're not S. You weren't one of the best in the world this season. You were a solid A. Foden gets a C. For his expectations, coming off a player of the Premier League last season, scoring all these goals, assists, bangers. Uh, Horrible, horrible, horrible season. Could be due to the structure of the team, the tactics, but let's be honest, even then, your productions would drop by half, not by like 90%. So Foden had a horrible season. I think he has to find his form. He is still a young player. I think he's only like 24, 25. So hopefully this coming season he can find his form. But for this 2024-2025 season, Foden was horrible. Vardiol, Vardiol gets an A from me. Probably one of the better center back, left back hybrids in the world. He's also asked to, play random positions. I feel like sometimes he's a touchline left back. Sometimes he's playing like a winger, he's taking on players. Sometimes he's playing in the midfield as a double pivot. Sometimes he's a center back. So I don't know. Guardiola he can fix in and fix out different positions that Pep wants him to play. But overall, I think he still had a good season. He did what he was supposed to do. Um, Playing different positions kind of messes up flow of things sometimes, but overall he played really well. He gets an A. Haaland is an S. He still scores goals just for fun. Haaland is still top five striker in the world. If anything, he just couldn't back it up with his trophy cabinet this season, but he's an S. He's phenomenal. Best striker in the world. Maybe top two when it comes to overall. But this season at least, top five S tier player. Gundogan, he has a C. It was unfortunate that he was kind of like pushed out of Barcelona, and Man City took him with open arms. But let's be honest, he's like 34 years old. Like it's time for him to go to Turkey, go get that large contract, that final one of your career. But this season didn't work out. What's this guy's name? Doku. Doku gets an A. Solid winger, a lot of take ons, good dribbler. I think we still want to see more out of him, but for now he did pretty well this season. good winger. I think he played more and more as the season went on. Um, this is Matthias Nunes. Yeah, I forgot his name, but he gets a C. He was pretty much a right back, even though he's like a cam center mid. He was playing out of his position, so I can't really blame him. But overall, he had a horrible season. I don't think he played that well in this position, especially his ability was very limited. McAtee, I don't know what his name's guy. I think it's a C. Young player, getting some minutes. Nothing much other than that. Overall, I think he's gonna do fine in his career. Omar Marmoush, brought in the winter transfer window. He gets an S for me. I think ever since Julian Alvarez left, they were missing that second striker type of player right behind Haaland at times, and Marmoush is that perfect player to have. Alvarez left the team because he wanted more minutes, and Pep lets players leave that want to leave. So bringing someone like Marmoush in, I think he's one for the future as well, and of now. He's going to be one of the best strikers in the world, if not already. And bringing him in was really good to get some more goal production. Ortega, C, bad season. And anytime he played, it was just mistake after mistake. So, in my opinion, he has a C. Rico Lewis gets a B. He fits in pretty well in this team. He's asked to play in the double pivot and right back type of role. I think he's still not that good compared to what Pep rates him, but he fits his tactics, right? So we'll give him a B for that. Rodri gets an F just because of his injury. And that's what kind of, if he was an S, a lot of these players would also be higher up in the tier list. But since he's an F, he kind of drags everybody with him down because of how valuable and important he is to this team. So in my opinion, he gets an F for this season, unfortunately. Ruben Diaz, A, solid center back. You can tell that, he's still in his prime. He's still good, but it was just a lot more running for him this season, a lot more defending, which was, probably messed him up mentally a bit. This player, I don't know who that is. John Stones, a C. Injuries, positional tactics, like playing center back, CDM. I think his time is finished. I think he's got to move it along. He's old as well now. The injuries are not going to slow down, so he's got to move it along. Vitor Rice, he's too young, too new, barely played to rank, so he just gets an F for me. Kovacic, I'm going to give a B. He was asked to, play part of that double pivot with the injury of Rodri, so for him progressing the ball up the field, he tried his best. He's someone who dribbles his way up and not passes his way up, which is obviously slows down the tactics. But listen, he can only do what he can do, right? So in my opinion, he gets a B for doing his part. He was put in a position, and I think he did the best he could. Akanji gets a B as well. Another solid center back this team has. I think he'll stay for next season as well. But I hope that he finds his role and stays with that center back role for a couple more years at least. Grealish gets a C. Let's be honest, Grealish is just a foul merchant at this point. He's not doing much. He's not getting goals. He's not getting assists. He's just putting quality. He's just getting into quality areas, getting fouls, and things happen from there. But other than that, I don't think Jack Grealish has a future here. I think he's linked with the move away as well. So, you spent 100 million on him. Hopefully, he can get 10 million back, and then we'll see what happens with him. Nico Gonzalez, I'm gonna give him a C. Played half a season, was brought in for big money from Porto, and he looked like, in a way, he was supposed to be Rodri's replacement for the future, but he also can play as an 8. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he plays, and I think he did pretty well fitting into the team, but it's just too early, too soon. And then Savinho, in my opinion, gets a A, because Savinho had one of the most most dribbles. He was taking on players. He was probably one of the best wingers, and he could play on either side, especially on the right wing. So in my opinion, he did really well. And that's going to be the 2024-2025 tier list for Man City. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. You like my rankings. There's a lot more C's, which I think reflects fairly on how Man City did this season. And let me know what team you want me to do next, or if you want me to do a different sport, different topic. It could be anything. But anyway, see you next time. Bye.